Since Repair Clinic encourages you to perform repairs safely, a warning icon will appear when you should use caution. While a gas dryer heats the air using a burner assembly, the air inside an electric dryer is heated by a heating element. This element is activated when it receives 240 volts of alternating current through two legs of voltage, each carrying 120 volts. When you set the timer and heat selector on the dryer control panel, then press the start switch, the first leg of voltage sends current to the motor and through the cycling thermostat, high-limit thermostat, and a thermal cutoff fuse before reaching the heating element. The second leg of voltage carries the current through a switch on the motor, which closes when the motor is running. The current is then sent to the opposite side of the heating element. Once both legs of voltage reach the element, the circuit is closed, and the element begins to heat the air. If one of the two thermostats, the thermal cutoff fuse, or the heating element malfunction, the dryer may fail to heat. You can use a multimeter to test all four of these components for continuity, a continuous electrical path present in the component. If the thermostats and fuse test positive for continuity, but the heating element does not, then the element is defective and should be replaced. Heating elements are usually unique to each dryer model. You should enter the full model number of your dryer in our website search bar to find the specific heating element you need. Before you replace the heating element, be sure to unplug the dryer's power cord. Heating elements are primarily located near the base of the dryer on the right side, or on the back of the dryer mounted to the rear bulkhead or the rear of the cabinet. You can often simply remove a rear panel to reach a heating element mounted to the rear bulkhead. For elements mounted near the dryer base, you may be able to access them by removing a lower front panel. For other models, however, you will need to fully disassemble the appliance before you can replace the element. This will require removing or lifting and supporting the top panel. Depending on the model, you may need to detach the control panel first. With the top panel out of the way, you will need to remove one or more front panels. You will often need to disconnect a door switch wire connector before detaching the front panel. Some dryers will have a bulkhead behind the front panel that supports the drum. Remove any applicable braces and disconnect any sensor wire connectors. Then uninstall the front bulkhead. For better access to the heating element, you may want to remove the drum. To do this, reach under the drum and push the idler pulley to release the tension on the belt, then detach the belt from the idler pulley and drive pulley. You can use the belt to help lift out the drum. Depending on the dryer model, you may need to remove a shield or uninstall a mounting bracket and remove the entire heating element housing from the cabinet. For most heating elements, you will need to unthread the screws to release the high-limit thermostat, the thermal cutoff fuse, or both from the element housing. Disconnect the heating element power wires. If applicable to your model, unthread the mounting screws to release the old heating element assembly. Or unthread the screws securing the two halves of the element housing or the housing cover. With the top half of the housing or the cover detached, remove the old heating element. Align the new heating element in the housing, on the rear cabinet panel, or in the heat duct behind the rear bulkhead, as required. Rejoin the two halves of the housing or replace the cover as necessary. Thread the screws to secure the housing or element assembly. Connect the power wires to the element terminals. Position the high-limit thermostat and thermal cutoff fuse if necessary, and secure them with the screws. If required, reinstall the element housing in the dryer. To reassemble the appliance, first reposition the drum on the rear rollers. Loop the belt on the idler pulley and the drive pulley in a zigzag formation. You can rotate the drum to help align the belt. Reinstall the front bulkhead, if applicable, then secure it with the mounting screws. Reconnect any sensor wires and replace any braces or supports. Reinstall the front panel or panels, making sure to reconnect the door switch wire connector if required. Reinstall the top panel and control panel as necessary. With the reassembly complete, plug the power cord back in, and the dryer should be ready for use.